Hell can be synonymous of two things in Norse mythology. It can either refer to the Underworld, where the souls of the dead dwell, or it can refer to the goddess of said Underworld, on which she rules. Once again, our good friend the Icelandic historian Snorri sheds some light on the myths surrounding the goddess of the Underworld in the prose Edda. According to him, Hel was the daughter of the trickster god Loki and the giantess Ambora, and thus that makes her the sister of the bane of the gods, Fenrir, and the world serpent, Jormungandr. She was described as being half white, while the other half being darker, almost black, and in a constant decaying state. She was also said to have a persisting grim and fierce expression on her face. The legend says that Hel was appointed by the king of the gods, Odin, to rule over the Underworld, which was located in Niflheim, one of the 9 worlds in Norse mythology, a world covered in ice and intense and forgiving cold. In the prose Edda, one character named Hai describes the world in which Hel rules as having great imposing mansions, high menacing walls, and a huge gate guarded by a terrible hellhound named Garmr. Hel was known to be a cold, unforgiving ruler and sometimes cruel as well. There was an instance where the god of light, Balder, was tricked by Loki and died slayed by his own brother. He was a favorite of the other Norse gods, and thus they tried to bring him back to life. They sent a messenger, Hermodr, to negotiate with Hel and hopefully bring back Balder to the world of the living. Hel told him that it was impossible to give him back, unless if some conditions were met. She told Hermodr that if all the living things in the universe shed tears in the name of the god, then she would consent to give him back. The other gods went around and asked from creatures, plants, objects, and all things in the universe to weep for Balder. They all did, except for one giantess that didn't care whatsoever of the fate of the god. It is supposed that the giantess was actually Loki in disguise, trying his best once again to hinder the other gods. And thus, although the whole universe wept except for the giantess, Hel firmly refused to give him back, and kept him in the Underworld for eternity. We will explore the myths surrounding Balder's death eventually, but for now, we have a clearer understanding of Hel's character and her role as a goddess of the Underworld. So that's all for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to share the video and subscribe to the channel for even more myths and legends from around the world. Thanks again, and see you all very soon.